229-888-2905, or email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Good morning from Colorado. Good morning, everybody. Why don't you let me know where you're coming in from? Love to hear and see that. Let's get some questions generated. Where's Team David Meltzer? There they are. We're going to pin my email and this right here, 949-298-2905, or david@dmeltzer.com. I'm sending out my book for free, shipping it to you, signing it. Merry holidays for everybody. Gemma, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Blaze always gives, including very well. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get some questions going here. Whoops, what happened to that question? That was funny. What skills are you working on right now? You know what skills I'm working on right now is what I'm calling the everyday New Year's Day habit. I'm working on the skill of making every day a New Year's Day, taking inventory of my values, asking and attracting, being a student of my calendar, doing things now, but refreshing every day, plateauing and growing every day, looking forward to every day as if it was New Year's Day. And that's a great skill that I'm working on right now. I've worked on the habit machine for years. Now I'm switching to the New Year's Day habit. Every day is going to be a New Year's Day for me. Favorite holiday movie? Oh, what do you think? Favorite holiday movie? 34th Street, Miracle on 34th Street. I think that's my favorite. There's so many good ones, but that's my favorite. I've watched that for years. Favorite Christmas songs is the 12 Nights of Christmas for sure, or Silent Night. Either one are very good. I like the 12 Nights or 12 Days of Christmas. I'm in the Hanukkah mode. Practice for staying present. Doing it now is the practice for staying present. Ask yourself, can I do it now? If you can do it now, then do it. Use your values that you take inventory of every morning in order to determine whether you can do it now by seeing the importance of it. Utilize Roosevelt's importance versus urgency matrix in order to figure out the lineage of that importance based on the values that you have. But most importantly, 100% of the things you do now will keep you present and will make the difference in your life. So work on that there. How do you detach from an outcome? Well, first of all, you don't detach your goal or your desire from an outcome. You detach your emotions from an outcome, right? You attach your emotion to the pursuit. You attach your emotions to clearing the interference to what already exists, that you're already connected to, and allow it to happen. You attach yourself to the 3 laws that allow it to happen. 1, the law of gravity that says everything is pulling towards you. The law of Goya, which means get off your ass and make it happen. And then the law of attraction, which allows you to attract it to yourself by clearing and using your free will to stop the interference, the corrosion, all the ego-based consciousness that gets in your way from stopping the things that you want from happening, because you're focusing your attention and intention on what you don't want, on what you're missing, on your mistakes, on what other people want for you, instead of just voting for what you want. Would you like to invest in India? I've invested in India, but I utilize my LPs to do that and my funds to do that. I don't directly invest. What do you do when you're in a sales slump? Well, first of all, that's why I have a New Year's Day, right? New Year's Days, slumps can only last so long. I look for the lessons. If I keep getting the same results, good or bad, I'm looking for the lessons. The definition of insanity is doing the exact same things and thinking you're going to get a different result. So start seeking what you're doing and learning those lessons. Remember, that slump, that pain, that irritation is a turn signal, not a stop sign. It's there to tell you you have a lesson to learn to get to somewhere better. So seek the lesson, the light, the love in the slump of what you're doing, and see and learn the lesson of how to get more. Remember, have faith that this slump means you just have something bigger and better in front of you, and that you were just sitting at a plateau and now it's time to grow. Found you from Mike's podcast. So grateful you were on. Thank you, my man, Mike Stud. If you haven't caught that, go ahead. It's on Spotify. I'm featured there. The Playbook with Mike Stud on Spotify, Entrepreneur, every platform. Check it out. Mind talking about some steps to follow every day so that regret is not a thought when the last day in the body comes. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a practice. Practice forgiving yourself and allow yourself to learn, allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to compound itself in the interest and intent that you want it to compound itself into. But you got to use forgiveness to give yourself peace and to give yourself certainty that when we come to our last day of embodiment, that we will be at peace and certain for the love and life and lessons that we've learned. What books do you recommend reading? For me, I got my basics, Think and Grow Rich, Course in Miracles, Atomic Habits, Alter Ego Effect, Power of Intention, just to name a few. I got lists and lists of books, man. I plow through audiobooks at 3 times speed if I can. Try to do a book a day. Keeps the doctor away. What does what you resist persist mean? This is a classic parenting problem. What you resist persists. So, we had friends in the neighborhood whose parents were very, very resistant on allowing their children to do things. Now their daughter's a stripper, right? So what you resist persists. If you don't want your child to marry someone, they're bound to marry them. What you resist persists. So put your attention on what you do want, not what you don't want. What you resist persists is when you put your attention on what you don't want and then get what you don't want. And so many people do that. You got to vote for what you do want. All right, I'm looking here, losing track of time. Lizzie, oh, I saw the food nanny here. I'm so sorry, Lizzie. There you are. You just popped up. All right. All right, Lizzie Heaps. She is the co-founder of the Food Nanny, and there is no more importance than what we put in our bodies. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm terrific. How are you?
I forget how you get your head cut off a little bit, so I've got to back it up.
I know I'm adjusting all the time as well, and I do this every day. But I just, want to talk to you because obviously your mission is to help families understand food. And food for me is a very hot topic because I've been doing research on the medicinal effects of food and how our food was strictly medicinal and nutritional, and it's moved to disease. Like literally the majority of our foods, especially in America, are counterproductive in what we're trying to do. And your food blog is phenomenal, and not
That's
only
so nice.
raising the awareness,
nice.
but it's so informative and it's easy stuff to do. I know you have a new product that I wanted to promote as well. And how do I? It's the Kamut cookbook for the love of Kamut.
Is it Kamut? It's
Kamut,
for the love
thank
of
you.
Kamut.
There you go. And
yes, it's for the love of Kamut. Kamut has literally changed our lives we've been using it for going on like 5 years. And it's just an ancient grain. It's never been genetically modified. It's naturally enriched. It's known for taste, texture, digestibility. It's incredible. We actually discovered it over in Italy, and it's grown right here in the US, it's just crazy. We don't know what we have right here, right? So it's been pretty amazing.
So it's the new superfood. People are saying it's the best cookbook ever.
So nice.
What does it hold taste, or does it have seasoning added to it, or how do we best use it when we're cooking?
Oh, it just becomes your all-purpose, but it's better. It tastes better. Like I said, it's known for taste, texture, digestibility. It has less gluten than any white flour in the world. So that's been really amazing because a lot of our gluten intolerant, they can handle it. It's easier to digest. But number one, it was taste. There's so many different healthy flours out there, but this for sure, it's like do a side by side. Make your bread with your normal all white flour. Make the other bread, my Kamut bread. You'll notice the difference. You can't go back. You can't go back.
And are there commercial brands that are selling Kamut bread or other products?
We actually have become the #1 US distributor of Kamut. There's other people that they sell Kamut, but it's not, if you don't have the full name Kamut, then it's not 100% pure. It's a blend and it's a mix of different kind of wheats. And so that's what we first had, and it wasn't as good as what we had in Italy. But now that we have partnered up with the Kamut farmer, you're getting 100% pure Kamut.
Is that what makes the pizza taste so good in Italy?
Oh, you wouldn't believe my pizza crust in my new book. Oh, it's rocking. It's amazing. It's amazing.
That wasn't the most authentic answer. I'll never get it from. I love when, no, I mean, honestly, I love when people come on and you just feel the truth, right? I'm always, people oversell, back end sell, but when someone is so authentic, and if you're listening or watching and you don't real, go buy this book, go buy the products. You're a fool because this is the real deal.
Well,
You
that's
would
so
not,
nice.
you would
We're
not have to
very
say
passionate.
anything.
I'm
Yeah,
very passionate, and it's what you see is what you get. If you meet me in person, I'm definitely who I am. And you have to love something enough to want to talk about it every day and promote it every day. And I feel it like deep in my bones, like you said about family dinner time, eating good quality food, having good ingredients. I feel it in my bones. And so it's like that's what makes me so I can talk about it every single day.
yeah. Well, and I am talking about it more and more because as I put my health as a priority over the last 2.5 years, I've always put my family first, and then the activity I get paid for second, and then my health. And what I started realizing as I got, into my 50s is that if you do that, you'll never get to your health because you want to spend so much time with your family and activity you get paid for. It
Yeah.
always is the thing that you don't do. And that my health, when I say I spend a minimum of an hour a day, it includes nutrition. Because as I got older, I also learned that about 80% of my health wasn't exercise anymore. It was what I was putting in, the fuel that I was
Oh,
putting
it's
in me.
so about what you eat. I don't even exercise. My exercise is literally folding the dough and making the bread every day. And that's the thing is it's funny. I get asked every day, how do you really eat bread? How are you really eating these treats and everything? But I tell you, Kamut has like, it stays with you because it's not just empty. It's like our normal white flour. It's just been stripped of everything that's good left for you. So it actually like leaves you hungry, right? You almost like want more. It's just empty stuff. This has protein in it. Somebody up there asked if it was gluten free. It's not gluten free. We can't say that, but it has less gluten than any white flour in the world. And 99% of our gluten intolerant can handle it. And they did a study. You can look it up. Italy and Austria did a study on it. So,
That's
yes.
that's amazing because a lot of people look for that gluten-free side, and it's so commercialized that people don't realize that you can handle a little bit of gluten. Number one, two, there's some products that never had gluten in it that literally promote their gluten-free,
I
and they
know.
they have other negative
Yeah.
attributes. You know,
Yeah.
the the,
But
the
this is
aspect.
why we have such gut issues. I mean, everything has been so genetically modified. Even my cow's milk. Have you noticed that I have a cow outside? I milk my cow.
You're
And
amazing.
my
Well, that's
cow,
exercise. That's exercise.
oh, it's major
Those are
exercise.
the curls.
Milton, morning and night, I'm milking the cow. But
And
what's
now
funny,
I'm giving you a back exercise because you have to squeeze into the
I
little
know, but
screen.
I'm getting a squat exercise. I don't know what is going on
I
with
do
this
this
camera.
standing up for that reason, so I can just lower and raise. But I have a stand here. I've learned over the years. Look, I can just move it without moving.
Well, I don't know what is going on, but it will not stay up for me. Anyways, but
I
my
apologize.
cow
You look
has the
so
gene.
uncomfortable.
Oh, no, you're fine. But my cow has the gene A2A2, and lactose intolerant can have it.
Oh wow, that's
It's
awesome.
crazy. This is
Yeah.
what, this is
Now
our gene. Everything's been genetically modified.
you also have rescuing family dinner time, and I one of the other areas, and my siblings sent my mom to get her PhD in education at Columbia. So when she came home, I asked her what her biggest takeaway was, and she told me that she learned the number one reason kids, or the number one common attribute of kids who go to the Ivy League schools, were that they ate dinner with their family. It wasn't their education, it wasn't the money, it wasn't the private schools. It was literally the importance of family dinners.
Oh,
But beyond the emotional aspect of spending time with the people that are most relative to you, you talk about the importance of family dinners. And one of the areas you talk about is portion control, which is my biggest nemesis. I eat really healthy. But my problem is I grew up with 6 kids, a single mom, poor, and five boys and a girl, and my mom was an extraordinary cook. So if there was something good, like one of the items, an entree or a side dish, I would eat super fast uh, to make sure that I got it
yeah,
before
yeah, I get
before
that.
my brothers would steal this stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have to work. In fact, I have to have a timeout when I eat. So I have a halftime in my meal because if I can walk away for 10 minutes or stop and talk for 10 minutes, I can let my brain catch up to my stomach. How does Kamut or any of your suggestions help with the family dining situation, including portion control?
Okay, so 100% family dinner time. It's the most important thing that you can do in a day. And studies, not just our own word, there are studies out there that if you just have family dinner time at least 3 nights a week, it's huge what it does for your family. Your family's going to bond. Your kids are less likely to try drugs or alcohol. They want to come home. It's the most natural setting, we say, in the time of day to sit around with your family and just talk about the day, unwind, and connect. So I'm the baby of 7 kids, so I know what a big family is like. And my mom, that's where we all bonded. It was the family dinner time and talking about the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the drama, and then we were eating delicious food. But it's all about portion control because you can eat everything that you love and crave with just eating until you're satisfied, not until you're stuffed like on Thanksgiving Day. You're just eating and you're pushing your plate back until you feel good and you feel satisfied. And kind of like what you said, that's a new mentality for everybody. And it's different for everybody. It doesn't mean, okay, this little portion is going to be the same for you as it is for me. You know, it's totally different. You know your body, you know when you're satisfied. And we try not to snack throughout the day because dinner time is the meal that I look forward to the most. So I have a light breakfast, a light lunch, and then it's like dinner is the main star. It's the main thing that I look forward to. So you just eat until you're satisfied. But it becomes a healthy lifestyle. Our cookbooks, we teach you how to cook like, different theme nights. So you're getting a variety of food. You're never eating the same thing back to back. Meat, pasta. You're not supposed to eat heavy meals every single night, right? So when you get the variety of food, you eat until you're satisfied, it becomes this beautiful lifestyle. And diets don't work long term. I don't know how people do it forever. You can't. Even the whole eating the macros and the counting this and counting that, it's like, it's great, but it's not something you can keep up for the rest of your life. This is what we teach, and what I talk about every day is something you can keep up for the
Yeah,
rest of your life.
I always say I'd rather spend my time counting my money than my macros. So
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
um, wow. I was going to say on planning side, last question. I have found, one piece of advice I got, which I love, because I'm a dinner eater as well. And one of my close friends said, David, you need to eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Is there truth to eating early is better than eating late?
I don't believe, well, okay, I do believe that you should try to stop eating by like after 7 p.m. That's what I do. I
Yeah.
don't try to eat after 7, but I don't think that eating a big breakfast, and no, dinner is the star for me. It's the star.
Me
And
too.
so, yeah, I'm like, no. And honestly, a lot of us, when we're working and we're going out all the time, or us women, when we go out to lunch, then we come home and we don't want to make dinner for our families. Or you ate a big lunch out to work with all your buddies and you come home and you don't really want dinner. If you all get on the same schedule and try to make dinner the priority, that's where I eat the most and enjoy the most.
I love
And
it. It
then I
works
try
for
not to eat after 7 p.m.
Yeah, it works for me. I'm 80 years old. Look how good I look. No, just
You
kidding.
look rocking.
We,
You're looking amazing.
we gotta be
Wow.
careful. People believe you. You say stuff like that, like, holy shit, Dave Meltzer's 80.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
uh, and to that point, this part about nutrition and family dinners is pre-planning. What are some of the planning tips of, like I like to pack things away on Sunday to have food available during the week. What are some of your best planning tips? And then I'll let you go.
Well, we just show how to meal plan. If you don't meal plan, then I don't know how anybody is making dinner, honestly. So I teach you how to do a 2 week meal plan. We feel like one is too short, a month is too long. And so you
It's
just
kind
go
of like
through,
it's kind of like a martini.
yeah.
One's not enough, two's too many.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Great analogy. But it's just the 2 week meal plan saves me. It not only saves you money, but you've got everything ready in the house when 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, starts rolling around. You've got everything ready to make for dinner. So that's what I do with our cookbooks. I go through each night, comfort food night, Italian night. I pick what I'm doing. I make my grocery list. I go shopping, get my 2 week meal plan, and then you're ready to go. I don't like to just prep and make 5 dinners at a time. That's not my sort of thing. I just don't like it. And that's people that are trying to eat like the same thing over and over again. I can't do that either. Food is what brings me so much joy every day. And I want to be making something new and eating the new thing the next day. It's amazing.
I
So,
love it. I'm sending my wife to at the Food Nanny.
yeah,
Everything from meal plans, cookbooks, cooking accessories,
I
Kamut
cook every day
products.
on there. Literally every day. I'm spoon
She's gonna
feeding you
love
how to
you.
cook, how to do it so you can do it. I
Yeah,
promise.
that is awesome. They can find you at the Food Nanny. Where else can they find you?
I'm the Food Nanny here on Instagram, but yeah, just go to thefoodnanny.com. I suggest you get one of our starter kits, the Kamut starter kit. You save about $10. You get a 5 pound bag of the flour. You get my book, so then you know how to make everything with the flour and our yummy salt that we have from France. Anyways, I teach you every day how to make. Today, we're making breadsticks and Alfredo. So
Oh
come and
yeah,
watch it.
you won me over at hello. No pun intended. Thank you so much,
Thank
Lizzie Heaps
you.
at the Food Nanny. You come back and visit me and give me more tips, okay?
Yeah, whatever you want. Thanks for
Next time we'll get the
everything.
screen light so I won't kill your back.
Okay, see you.
See you. Bye bye. At the Food Nanny. How cool is that? I really hadn't heard of Kamut. Um, I'll give it a shot or a shoot at Kamut. Um, we'll give that there. Training this Friday's holiday training. Come join me. Holiday training. Text me 949-298-2905 at my community. Join the community. If you want the exercises guides, my book's for free. David at dmeltzer.com. Just reach out. I'm here to help you. Private groups and one-on-one help, whatever you need, I'm here for you. David at dmeltzer.com. Let's take a couple more questions as we get up to our next guest here. How have you started building your empire? I have a long segmented strategy. So I look for two people that will get me two people to give me two people. And yes, I do see Jonathan here. So I take a very long strategy of growing things exponentially with compound interest. And I have found enjoying the pursuit of what I want in a longer time. People, they don't mind hard, they hate long. And so I look long to give myself that advantage. Here we are. We have Jonathan Baylor at Jonathan Baylor, founder, CEO, chief scientist of Sane Solution.
What's up, David? How are you, sir?
Looking good, man. I'm doing fantastic. Did you happen to catch our friend Lizzie earlier?
I did. It's all about the Kamut, baby.
All about the Kamut. I wasn't that familiar with it, but obviously you have a metabolic healing program, and you're seeing how complementary her strategy and perspective is to what you teach, and give us a little bit of background on how Sane originated and what it does.
Sane's all about redefining, or actually just defining, what healthy even means. David, I joke that if you ask 10 people, like, if a banana is healthy, you're going to get 10 different answers, because what does healthy even mean, right? So we spent the past 15 years working with doctors at Harvard and Johns Hopkins and UCLA to just look at the modern science around, like, what actually makes food help you or hurt you, and define what healthy actually means.
Wow. What's interesting is also, as an entrepreneur in what you're doing, your career is very eclectic like mine. In fact, we both worked with, I had the first Windows CE device in 1999, the world's first convergence device, which is now called a smartphone, and had worked with Microsoft. you also were the guy, at Microsoft. We're both forgotten entities. My CTO was Randy Granovetter, who had passed away, but she was, the COO of Outlook there at Microsoft, just a legend. She went from Jabra, the earpiece company, which she founded, one of the first women to fund over $100 million company, into Microsoft. But share with everyone how eclectic your career is, because you were pretty heavily engaged in Microsoft in collaborative tools within the context that everybody knows about.
Tremendous opportunity. I went to Microsoft immediately after graduating from university, did 2 internships there, had the great pleasure of being one of the patent holders for the ability to collaboratively author Microsoft documents. We saw what Google was doing and said, we got to be able to do that too, but it's obviously much harder to do that in software that was written in 1983, which is when Microsoft Word was created, and also the year I was born. I don't know if it's irony or not, but that was pretty awesome. And then also got to work on the Xbox Fitness and Nike Plus Connect training. So really was able to bring together the best of biological sciences and the best in the technology world to provide proven wellness solutions for folks that are fun and engaging and doable. And then that spun off into Sane Solution, which is the wellness technology company that I run.
And has health and wellness been, a passion of yours when you were at university, before university? Because it seems very odd. I mean, you're a hyper technical guy that somehow, ended up to be hyper wellness coordinated and collaborated with your technology. But were you always passionate about health and wellness?
I was, and I also am a geek at heart. Systems engineering is the quote unquote thing that I'm trained in, and the human body is the most complicated system in the world. So whether, you think computers and the internet is complicated, well, wait till you get into human biology and psychology. But even when I was little, I don't know if it was genetic or what, but I had a pretty traumatic experience with some family members, and then was also like really obsessed with Superman and Rocky Balboa, and just was always interested. Oh, whoa, what we got here? You got Sylvester Stallone? Oh, there it is. There it is. I love that.
I just got this as a gift, and it has my favorite quote from Rocky V when he talks about, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Well, and even his story, right, of how he sold his dog.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
Had to buy it back for like 30. I think he made 30 grand, and then he had to buy it back for 15 or something. I want to find the asshole that bought that dog and would not give it back. Like, what a jerk.
or what a great entrepreneur. I mean,
yeah,
he flips.
True. I'm just more abundant. Like, I could never do that to someone. I mean, if that dog was really cool, though, I have to admit, he probably was attached, in all fairness, that dog, because that's the same dog he used in the movie, by the way, if people don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's, what's the name, Butkus, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress. So you're a big Rocky fan as well.
Yeah, but just always the ability to somehow, I have pictures from when I was a child. I actually wore a Superman costume for 3 consecutive weeks and wouldn't take it off. And then my high school principal, no, I'm just kidding. It was when I was much younger. But I just love the idea of trying to make the most of yourself. And I had a much older brother. I think that influenced me as well. He was really into sports, and I always struggled with my body growing up. I had the opposite problem a lot of people have. I was incredibly thin and couldn't get bigger. I was bullied to the point where, I won't get into the stories, but to the point of it was a problem.
Yeah.
So also some of it was just survival, and then really digging into what I could do to change my body, and then had a crazy experience where I was a personal trainer at Valley Total Fitness in Columbus, Ohio. I was forcing people on the old, 1,200 calories, starve yourself diet that I was taught. And in a flash, I realized that I was eating 6,000 calories a day, literally trying to put on weight while telling people to eat 1,200 calories per day to lose weight. We were both doing it, and we both just thought we needed to try harder, but neither one of us were getting the results we wanted. But here's the thing, how can one person eat 1,200 calories, not lose weight, another person eat 6,000 calories, 5 times more calories, and not gain weight? Like, no one's ever asked that question, and that's what set me on this path to say, why are some people naturally thin? Why are some people gaining weight even when they smell a cheesecake? And how can we shift our bodies between being someone who is prone to gain fat no matter what we do, and someone who can't gain fat no matter what they do?
Yeah, and you have your documentary, the Better Food documentary as well. But here's an interesting thing. I played college football, and I was like you. I had to eat a full meat burrito and French fries at midnight just to keep my weight on. I was at 6,000 calories a day, just to keep my weight. I would be losing weight if I went anything below 6,000. And then something happened, and I blamed it on age, that I became the guy you were talking about. If I looked at a cheesecake, I would gain weight. And now I've shifted back because of a better exercise system, a better use of diet. And I've not gotten to the point where I want to be, because I always say my biggest, not mistake, my biggest lesson, the thing that I took the most for granted in my entire life, if you've someone like me that could take 6,000 calories a day and then had to drop down to 1,200 or they gain weight, is that I did not appreciate what it was like to be able to eat whatever the hell you wanted and as much as you wanted and not gain weight. That is a gift from God. And my wife, she would pay millions of dollars if she could buy a product that just allows. So what is the secret of the metabolism? Why does it change? How can we change it back?
It is a gift from God, David, and it's a gift from God that we now have the opportunity to ask that question. Like, what is it about you, the same person who you switched between those two body types? Well, we can see there's changes in your brain, there's changes in your gut, and there's changes in your hormones. And now this is just science. This is not my theory.
Yeah.
These are coming from the greatest minds in the world, where we can see there's inflammation in your brain called neurological inflammation. There's something called gut dysbiosis, and you have various hormonal imbalances. So for men, like a drop in testosterone, a women, a drop in estrogen. And when these things happen, right, when your brain's in this state, when your gut's in this state, and when your hormones are in this state, you will gain fat no matter how much you eat, no matter how little you eat, and no matter how much you exercise. And when you flip it, when we heal your brain, gut, and hormones, you can eat literally till you are completely full and satisfied and effortlessly burn fat, because your body will just burn calories rather than storing them. And we know that's true.
Yeah.
You experienced it. Like, right. And a lot of people have experienced it. We just can't do it on command, or we can't get our body to go back to that state.
That is awesome. And then you have a book called The Calorie Myth, which describes, for example, calories themselves are the biggest misnomer of the public, because it's a measurement of energy, right? And people don't get that. Calories is a measurement of energy, which means with the mind, the gut, and like you said, your own biochemistry, your genetics, testosterone or estrogen, you can regulate this. But it's funny because in Eastern culture, right, the gut is actually like the mind, the main being, right? And they had a really good understanding of how these three things work together. Less of the testosterone, because we can now scientifically see that. But thousands of years ago, they knew the mind and the gut were controlling our bodies. Right? These were the things that regulated our energy, and that energy can either be stored or utilized efficiently. And that's really what I see in the work that you're doing. Now, I have a quick question too. Are you a Buckeye by chance when you're talking about being in Columbus?
I am. I was 8 months old when my parents moved me to Columbus, Ohio, and then I spent my life until I went to University in Indiana, and then out here to Seattle. So OH.
IO. Yeah, it's funny. I'm from Akron. My daughter goes to IU. So she's in Indiana right now, sophomore, and obviously a lot of connections up in Seattle. Where can people find the documentary, find the book, find you?
Please go to bettermovie.com. We've got a feature film, a documentary coming out with some of the top doctors at Harvard Medical School. Nothing like this has ever been done. The film is called Better, and what better name for a film going into 2021? I think we could all use a better year. So go to bettermovie.com. And if you want to learn more about me or more about our company and what we do, please pop over to SANE, SANE, solution.com.
Dude, you are right on it. I am so aligned with what you're doing. And I've been working, as an amateur at trying to figure out what has happened to my mind, body, and soul from someone, that could have a metabolism that could eat up everything to one that completely stopped to now regenerating it and finding it so interesting. I can't wait to see the documentary, can't wait to read your book, understand the inflammation. I get more of the gut stuff and the testosterone that's been out there and moving, but the inflammation of how the mind works with these two things and what we can do is going to be extraordinary to learn. Totally appreciate you. Come back on again after the launch of the movie and after I get to watch it, okay?
Beautiful. Thank you, David, for the opportunity. Be well.
Awesome. Take care, my friend. Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Jonathan Baylor, cool stuff. Both the Food Nanny and Jonathan Baylor. I can't wait to see the Better Food documentary and the Calorie Myth. I've read before, understanding calories is so important because it's a measurement of energy, and obviously I'm an energy guy. For training on Fridays, our holiday training, let's answer a couple questions, but join my text community, 949-298-2905. Join my text community. Love to have you. If you want my books, guys, exercises for free, david@dmeltzer.com. david@dmeltzer.com. I'll sign the book, send it to you. Read it. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. Let's answer some questions. Great guest today. Do you love me? I love myself, and therefore I give what I have to everyone. And yes, I love you. Here we go. What is the best option when a pitch goes in the wrong direction? Illuminate. If your pitch goes in the wrong direction, illuminate it's going in the wrong direction. Ask for a do-over. Ask to re-engineer the vision that you created. Take a deep breath, breathe, start over, and illuminate what has happened. People will forgive you. They'll give you a second chance. And Micah Shabi, good to see you on here as well. Looking good, everybody, looking good. If you go pro in any sport, what would it be? Golf. Who want to go pro in golf? I'd like to play a professional baseball game, a professional football, basketball, soccer game, but golf, oh my gosh, you can play until you're like literally and get paid to play till you're 80. It's the best senior tour. You're around the nicest, finest foods, places, people, the highest paying sponsors. It is the sport of kings, and the Masters is the greatest sporting event of all time. It never disappoints. It's like none other, not to steal their line. Do you ever been a rock bottom poor? Yeah, twice. I was born into it. I was born poor, 6 kids and a single mom, and I lost all my money. Over $100 million, went bankrupt in 2008. I know poor. I've been rich. I've been poor. Rich is better if you know what to shop for. If you know what to shop for. If you shop for the wrong things, you're not going to be happy. But money allows you to shop. And if you shop for the right things, not the things you don't need, not different things you don't need, not to impress people you don't like, but if you invest in and you buy and you use your money on the right things, you will be extremely happy. I promise you. Speaking of happy, we're going to teach giving this holiday. Come to the holiday training that I'm doing. You're going to love it. Go ahead, register at david@dmeltzer.com. david@dmeltzer.com. You're right here at David Meltzer. Or join my text community, 949-298-2905. It's at top. It's at bottom. I want you to join my community. We can do a lot of good things together. I'm here to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Please let me know. Can you repeat the quote, please? I forget what I said. Can you go back and listen to it? I forget what I said. I'm so sorry. I'm in a channeling mode, so it's coming through me, not from me. I'm just downloading this stuff. What is the primary focus of your firm? So we provide great content to empower people, and in a sports background, the greatest events in sports: Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, Masters, Kentucky Derby. One last question. Let's make it happen here. Remember, david@dmeltzer.com if you want the exercises, guys. If you've missed any of my trainings, they're all featured on Spotify, Entrepreneur, and every platform. It's called The Playbook. Go ahead, give me a thumbs up, a like, and share it with your friends. The Playbook on Spotify, featured there, on Entrepreneur, and on every platform. What was the first business you go through? For me, my first business, I worked for a company called West Publishing. I sold legal research online in 1992. We sold that company for $3.4 billion in 1995 and set me on a trajectory to the Silicon Valley. What's the easiest way to gain the trust of professional athletes? Well, it's the same way you gain trust with other people. Have credibility, have an emotional connection, and quantify the value of your relationship. All right, everyone. It is time. Friday's training, david@dmeltzer.com. Join me for free. Join my text community, 949-298-2905, top, bottom. And remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Have a great day.